Today, we're going to talk about grading options, specifically if you're trying to decide between taking a class, pass, no pass, or letter grade. This can be a little tough for a number of reasons. Maybe you're not entirely sure where your grade is at, maybe you're just not sure how it's going to look, or what options a certain grading option will give you. So today, we're going to go over 5 factors that you should consider when thinking about grading options. Okay, factor 1. How are you doing in the course? So you might be on track for a no pass, which is a D+ to an F, or a pass, which is a C- to an A. Sometimes you might not be totally sure which one you're on track for if your grade is kind of at that borderline, but sometimes you have a fairly good idea of which way the grade's going to go, and that can impact whether or not you might decide whether pass, no pass is a good fit for you. So first, let's say you're on track for a no pass. If you're already in that range of that D+ to an F, a no pass can be a really great option for you. A no pass will protect your GPA in that case. The other great thing is that if you earn a no pass in the class, you can repeat the course one time. A lot of times students will ask here about grade replacement, but if you took the first attempt pass, no pass, you actually don't have a grade that you can replace, which is actually nice because then you can have the option to retake the course and get the letter grade when you take it again, or you could just walk away. If you didn't have the grade go into your GPA, there's not as much pressure sometimes to feel like you need to repeat the course for that grade replacement that you might be looking at if you took the original attempt for a letter grade. That said, there is a big caveat. Some majors in their prerequisites don't allow you to repeat courses or might have limits on how many times you can retake a course. So especially if your major is a capped major and maybe has some extra stuff in there about what you need to do to declare, do check with your major department first to make sure that taking your class, a prerequisite class, pass, no pass, is a good option for you. Often that information is on their website, but you can always talk with an undergraduate major advisor about that as well. Okay, let's say you're on track for a pass. Past grades can satisfy some requirements such as breadths or unit requirements, so this could be a really great option for you if it's not for a specific requirement that needs to be letter graded. Now, if it is for a class that needs to be taken for a letter grade, we need to really think about, is this your only option? Because past grades can't be repeated. So let's say you need a specific class for your major. If you take it pass, you could be in kind of a messy situation. Now, if there's a list of classes that you can use to satisfy the requirement and you take one pass, you could always take another option from that list, assuming you have the time to do that in your full-on graduation plan. Factor 2, how many classes are you planning to take pass, no pass? So we're going to look at this in 2 ways. One is at the semester level and one is overall. In a fall or spring semester, you need to earn at least some letter graded units or you're going to be on academic probation for the next semester. So if you're thinking of taking an entire semester's worth of pass, no pass units, you should probably consider whether that's worth it, especially because if you are put on probation for the next semester, you won't be able to choose pass, no pass for any class where letter grade is an option. Now, overall, during your time at Cal, you can take a max of 1/3 of your units at Berkeley for pass by the time you graduate. Now, most students won't run into a problem with this maximum because a lot of the classes you need to take are for letter grade. But if you are racking up a lot of pass, no pass, do keep this one in mind. You don't want to be in that situation where we're nearing graduation and now you have to take a lot of letter grades to make up that ratio. Factor 3, how will it look? So this is a question I commonly get from students. If I take a class pass, no pass, how will it look? Well, the first question is really who's looking and who are we really worried about? A lot of careers won't ever even look at your transcript, so they may not even know, and you might not really have anyone looking. And in that case, you don't really need to worry about it. It might be really helpful to talk with a career counselor to check if your field needs, say, grad school, or if it commonly reviews transcripts at the entry level or at the internship level. In that case, we might want to be a little more cautious. Graduate school and professional school will definitely look at your transcripts. Now, law school is really the strictest when it comes to pass, no pass on your record. They will take no pass grades and recalculate them as F grades when you're looking at your admissions GPA for law school. They also typically prefer a max of 2 elective pass, no pass, even though pass, no pass only classes are okay. That all said, pass can still be a good decision even for pre-law students. It just really depends on your situation. For medical and graduate school, they don't do that no pass to F recalculation, but they will be aware of whether your GPA might be a little higher because you relied heavily on pass, no pass compared to other students in the applicant pool. So you just want to maybe not overplay that card too much if you're thinking about a competitive medical or graduate program. And thankfully, you don't need to make any of these decisions on your own. We have at the college Letters in Science pre-professional graduate programs advisors, and those are advisors that help you look at academic decisions through the lens of applying to graduate school, law school, medical school, and health professions schools. We also have career counselors over at the Career Center who also specialize in these fields and can really help you make some decisions. Factor 4, how would the letter grade impact your GPA? So the first question is, do you have a specific GPA goal? Now, you don't necessarily need a GPA goal. A lot of students go into professions that don't really care as much about their GPA, so they might have their own personal GPA goals, but not really one that's going to make or break a future goal. So you might have a more specific GPA goal in mind if you're planning to apply for things like graduate school, a competitive internship, research opportunities at Berkeley, UCDC, or study abroad as some examples. So the first tip is to research your own goals to make sure you have a realistic target. Now, once you have your target, it can be a little bit easier to make some of these decisions. So let's use the example of a 3.0. So if my GPA goal is a 3.0, well, B's are 3.0s. So if I'm earning a B or above, that means that my GPA is going to be really coming in at my goal or even above my goal. And anything below a B is below my goal. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to change every grade that's below your GPA goal to pass, no pass. And in fact, as we covered earlier, that may not be the best strategy for you. Remember that GPA is an average. So if your goal is at a 3.0 and you get a B minus, but you also have grades in the A minus or A category, those are really going to balance out that grade that you earned that was below your goal. But if you're going to earn a grade that's maybe really far below your goal, that might be a circumstance where you then would consider pass, no pass. Factor 5, honors. For some students, honors designation is really personally valuable. For the Dean's Honors List, which is a semester by semester honors designation, remember that you need to earn at least 13 or more letter graded units in the semester, and you can't have earned any no pass grades. For distinction in general scholarship at graduation, which is just honors for overall achievement at Berkeley, that's that distinction, high distinction, and highest distinction, you will need a total of 43 letter graded units at Berkeley. Obviously, there are other criteria for honors such as GPA, so definitely check out the Dean's List /honors page on the L&S website so you have a really good idea of all the criteria in addition to grading options that's required for honors. Still unsure? Lots of students get stuck because they get scared that they're going to choose wrong. So, for example, a lot of students will come in saying, well, I think my GPA is either at this place or this place, so there's kind of that range. And if it comes in here at the bottom, I'm going to really wish I'd taken pass, no pass. But if it comes in here at the top, I'm going to really want to have that letter grade. So that's where a lot of the dilemma comes in. And unfortunately, There's not always a simple solution to reveal the grade before you need to make a decision about your grading option. So if you're stuck in this pattern, you might try the following exercise and see if it helps, which is to compare your two worst case scenarios against each other. So let's say you're worried that you're going to choose pass, no pass, but secretly get that higher grade, and then it won't reflect on your transcript. That's worst case scenario number 1. On the other hand, you're worried that if you choose letter grade, you're going to earn that lowest grade that you're scared of, and that letter grade is going to show up on your transcript. So now we're just taking those two worst case scenarios and asking you, which one feels more comfortable to you? Neither of them feel great, I know that, but is there one that you feel like you would be more happy with, or at least less disappointed with? Sometimes that can make it really clear for you. Do your best and remember that you made the best decision you could with the information you had at the time. For more information on grading options, check out the L&S Advising website. We have a whole grading options page with lots of FAQ and information.